Well, good afternoon, good morning, good night, whatever hemisphere you're in, and welcome to another episode of the Crotchety Old Men podcast. I'm Gary Smith, co-host of the Crotchety Old Men podcast, and with me in the studio, as always, is my main brother, George Cromley. George, top of the day to you, my man.
Top of the day to you, Smitty. How you doing?
And I'm doing exceedingly well. As I like to tell people, I'm amazing. I feel amazing.
Well, that's great, man. It's great to feel amazing, I tell you.
Amen. Your health is your wealth, right?
Absolutely. Because without the health, you have nothing else.
Boy, I tell you. So what's on our agenda for today, George?
Well, Smitty, we always talking about, it's not how much you make, but it's what you do, what you make. And we always talk about saving money, and we talk about, other things to do. But, one thing we haven't really talked about, we've kind of skirted around it, is ways to actually save money. So I thought we'd take this episode and talk about some ways to save money. And some of them may be obvious, but I'm always saying that if you can walk away with one thing from our podcast, then I've done my job. So hopefully today, some of our audience will look at some of these things on here and say, I didn't think about that. Maybe I'll try that. So it's about savings today. Here we are at the beginning of the year, and I know a lot of people, are looking for ways to save money, stretch their dollar. So hopefully a couple of these items on here will fit in that pocket, that category.
Hey, man, well, let's dive right into it. I've heard a saying that goes like a penny saved is a penny earned. So saving money is good. All right.
Right.
There's a lot of things out here, a lot of ways. Let's start with, we talk big about education, you're educating yourself. I'm a very big proponent about reading books. My feelings is this: a person who can't read, you can't tell the difference. Here I go. It's hard to tell the difference between a person who cannot read and a person who do not read, all right, or does not read. I guess that's the proper English. So let's talk about books for the kick of it. Most people don't have a library card, man. And
actually, yeah, I mean, that's true. I just recently renewed mine after a couple years of it being dormant. And, I found a great benefit because of the fact that, I am a real estate agent. I work mostly out of my home, but I needed to, be able to work with clients, meet with clients face to face and go over things. And I found out at our local library, which has just been rehabbed, they have office space. They have conference rooms with easels and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So rather than going out here and renting a space, because you have a lot of places where you can rent space, I just flash my library card, let them know when I want, how much time I need, and they direct me to the room. And hey, it's free.
And it's amazing because it's so resourceful. Not only to your point that you can get the rooms and things, but books. I mean, we're talking about every genre of books that you can get. Periodicals. You don't have to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, New York Times, or even your local newspaper. They have all that stuff in the library free. And if you're too lazy or you don't have transportation or just can't make it to a library physically, you can go online to your local library, and there's a digital section there. So you have access to things that are digital. So if you want to learn anything from cooking a book to creating a business, it's there at the library. Okay.
Yeah, so exactly. Yeah. And then what about the Library of Congress? People think, the first thing they think about Library of Congress, they think, I got to go to D.C. But actually, a lot of this stuff is available online also. I mean, it allows you to get access to, like, say, old newspapers, old playbills, say, if you want to find out the history of China, all that kind of stuff is at the Library of Congress. And that's our information. And you can get that information online free.
Yeah, there's some free educational resources as well. I've been able to hook up with Harvard Business Review, things like that. Grab a couple of free courses there, or it may be a white paper that someone has written, a professor, what have you. That's almost akin to going to Harvard, man, because you can get that information, same information that someone else may pay for. You can get it free 99, I like to say.
Yeah. Free 99, I like that. Any other free periodicals or ways to get free books that you're aware of?
Well, I've heard of, of course, the Gutenberg.org. That's one. Gutenberg. I may be mispronouncing that. Libby, Libby.com. I think that's another one. It's kind of tied into a library of some sorts, but it's like borrowing a book. You can go online, and if they have that book digitally, or what is it when you read your books? Kindle. There you go.
Oh yeah,
So,
Kindle.
yeah, on Kindle, you have them download it, you read it, and they'll disconnect it after a month or so. No different than checking out a book at the library.
Hmm.
So, in my opinion, man, the library is your friend. Okay,
Definitely.
it's your friend.
Definitely. Okay.
What other stuff out there, man?
Well, one of my favorites is don't auto renew your auto or your homeowner's insurance. All these things are obviously, they just dump this stuff in a computer and spits it out and automatically raises your insurance in certain areas. I just recently renewed my car insurance, and one first things you want to do is make sure none of your discounts, multi-car discounts and those things don't drop off. And then secondly, at our age, you're entitled to a senior. If they classify you as a senior citizen, your insurance goes down. If they classify your cars as now recreational, as opposed to, for, going back and forth to work, that reduces your car insurance. And then also, if you take a defensive driving course or any type of certified driving course, it'll also give you a discount on your insurance, and that's good up to 3 years. So I just recently took one through AARP, and it's probably going to save me anywhere between $150, $200 a month. I'm sorry, a year for the next 3 years. So those are kind of a couple of things that you can look at as far as your insurance, your car insurance, and the same thing goes for your home insurance. Sometimes they're billing you for things that you don't have, you may not need. They may, your limits may be off a little bit, but all that stuff affects the premium. So you want to look very carefully at these documents.
You bring something to mind because since COVID, there's been so many people who either by choice or just been forced to work from home. I just wonder here, as I'm sitting here, as we're talking, how many people have thought to check with their auto insurance and make that correction that, hey, you're not driving 5 miles, 10 miles back and forth to work. You're working from home. So to your point, that's for probably some savings right there, that all you got to do is pick up the phone and say, hey, I use my car strictly for recreation. I no longer have to commute to work. That alone probably can save some money. I
Oh,
think
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think another one too, George, is we've all seen the commercial about the bundle with State Farm. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and so that's not just to State Farm, y'all. You can bundle regardless of what insurance company you have.
Yeah.
So, look to that. Look for ways there, like you said, multiple cars, add in your home insurance and stuff like that. And actually, if you got other property, I'm not sure if it takes into consideration rental property or not,
Oh, it
but
does.
does it?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, yeah. I've got all my insurances for my rental property as well as my main property, all under the same umbrella
mhm.
company. So yeah, you get a discount for having the multiple policies together. So yeah, there's discount. Plus, a lot of insurance companies will give you here again discounts if you're using AARP, AAA, and some of the other big organizations, subscription organizations out there. So you want to look in that also.
Right. And you know what? Don't forget the veterans discounts.
Right.
There's a veteran discounts. USAA is a veteran sponsored insurance company for auto home insurance, and they are very, very competitive.
Yeah.
And so make them compete for your business. Right.
Exactly.
let
Exactly.
them know you're shopping. Let them know you're
Mm.
looking at other companies.
That's what
Okay.
I was just thinking about, Gary, was that a lot of people don't realize that, they're looking for your business and they will pay a premium to get your business.
That's right.
Anytime you change from one company to another, whether it's, homeowners insurance and things of that nature, that they always have an introductory rate.
Yep.
It's with your cable companies, they always, if you notice, they always have, if you go into Sam's Club, they always have an introductory rate, which you long time subscribers don't take advantage of. I always ask, so what do you got for existing customers? You courting these new customers, but what do you have for us? And usually it's nothing. So
Exactly.
it's okay to switch. If at one point I was switching from, cell carriers and cable companies just to take advantage of the discounts they're going to give for the new subscribers.
Shoot, yeah. I tell you another way. Have multiple email addresses. Okay, because I used to subscribe to Bloomberg. I shouldn't be putting this out here publicly, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I used to subscribe to Bloomberg. All right, you get that free introductory rate, $1.99 a month for 3-4 months. Then they're gonna come back and hit you with a $39 thing. All right, I'll cancel that one. I just send them to sign up with another email. I get that new I'll get that new customer rate all over
Yeah,
again. Heck, I do that 4 times a year. I got Bloomberg for free.
there
Okay.
you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
Well, same way when you change it or buy another automobile. I recently bought my wife another automobile. We have Sirius, right? Now I got
Hmm.
a nice little discount on it from the other automobile, but it wouldn't, for whatever reason, I'm doing this online, they won't let you transfer it without a new higher rate. So I thought, you know what, forget that because the salesperson told me, he said, well, Mr. Smith, you get 3 months free Sirius subscription for your new automobile. I said,
There you
great,
go.
fantastic. So I just canceled the one on my
Cancel.
old car, started all over again. So it's
Start it all
free.
over.
3 months that I get free Sirius XL. I don't have to pay for it.
There you go. There you go.
You
There
know,
you go.
you just have to
And
look.
then, yeah. And then for our golf lovers, and this is not an endorsement for this particular company, but it's one that I use. It's called Golf Now. It's $99 a year, but you get a $50 gift check for gift card from TaylorMade, which you
Mhm.
can use that immediately. And then you get a year subscription to Peacock television. So that kind of pays for the membership right away. When you look at the actual membership benefits, you get a discount anytime you play golf, and that discount can anywhere between $10 and $15. So if you're playing on a course that's say $40, so, you do the math, and that's how much it's going to cost you. So you can play a lot of different places, and that's not just here in Georgia, but that's in any country. I've gone to North Carolina, Florida, and several other states, and I've been able to use my Golf Now subscription. So yeah, it's just golfnow.com, and you can sign up for that.
Absolutely. Hey, any and every opportunity to save money is worth the time to look it up and go do it. Now, George, I'd be remiss if I would say that everybody listening, as soon as this podcast is over, they're going to rush right to their computers and they're going to sign up for this stuff or look for discounts. But we both know I'm wrong, right?
Right, right, right. Yeah,
So, hey, we're trying to give you these pearls and stuff to do what? Save money, save money. And when you save money, you're really making money. What else
absolutely.
we got out there, man?
Well, here again, one of my favorites. I've talked about this before. If you're a listener, is Sam's Club. I've got the Sam's Club card. I get the 5% cash back on gas, 2% back on, I think it's food. So, 2023, how much did I save? And remember, I'm not paying any interest because I'm paying this bill off every month. $224. That's how much
Hey,
I made. That's how much I made from Sam's. Okay,
there
so
you
not only
go.
get the cheaper gas, I'm not paying any interest, and then they're gonna send me a check for $224 at the end of the year.
I love it. That's like a dividend. That's like a dividend on a stock, man, without buying the stock. I
And you can
mean,
do the same thing with Costco.
yeah, Costco's, your Sam Club, your BJ's of the world. Look for those type of organizations that, membership or subscriber base because there's perks that come along with that. I'm sitting here thinking about that in terms of interest rate on your credit cards. Yeah, interest rates is high. And George, you spoke of this on several other episodes. But pay attention when they start dropping these interest rates, and the interest rates are going to change. Look for those opportunities to switch cards or roll your cards over because some of these credit card companies will offer you 0% rate on your money's rolled over for a certain period of time.
Oh
And
yeah.
especially if you guys got out there with those high balances, you definitely want to take advantage of that.
Oh yeah, that's one of the best things going. I use those all the time. I mean, especially with my business. I mean, you think
Mhm.
about it, you do a card where they're gonna give you 15 to 18 months of no interest, and you've got a renter there. Basically, that renter is paying that note for you, and then also and you're not paying any interest on it. So I mean, there's no better way to finance any type of business, as well as your personal. But that's how I primarily use it for my business. I got to put a roof on, or I got to do something major to one of my rentals.
Mhm.
Hey, I just get me one of those no interest for 18 months, take the money, pay the cash. With these suppliers also, you're going to get a discount because, you're paying cash. You're not charging it with them. So
Mhm.
there's a savings all around. But you got these tools are out there, and that's just basically having good credit.
And here for a moment, I want to speak specifically to our seniors. There are programs in your counties and in your local districts that have senior programs for installing new windows on your property, new roofs on your property, things that need to be done to update appliances and stuff like that that are free. Did you hear me? You know I like my quote, free 99. Well, I'm talking about free without the 99. Free, seriously. It would behoove anybody that classifies as a senior and you own your home to look into these programs. They're out there. They're not advertised, and they're really not hidden. Well, they're hidden in plain sight. Okay. And so you just have to go look for them. They're online, or get someone that's younger that knows their way around a computer if you're, intimidated by a computer. But call the county, call the city where your property is, and find out what programs do you have for senior citizens. And you'd be surprised that, you can get a lot of updates and repairs to your home just because, hey, you earned it.
Yeah. Well, also if you're low income, the government has a program where you can get free internet. So
Wow.
that's, regardless of what age you are, if you're low income, and I'm not sure what that dollar amount is,
Mhm.
but the government will pay for your internet through the whatever carrier you're using. That's
Isn't
been
that
enacted. I think they started that before COVID.
okay? Yeah, that's probably the push to get everyone wired up and connected,
Yeah,
connected. And
yeah,
that should be. It should be.
yeah,
As
yeah.
rightfully it should be. Well, before we wrap up, man, is there anything else? There's got to be some other things.
Oh yeah, man, it's a lot of them out there. We're gonna cherry pick some of them, but if you're
Okay.
not an AARP member, you're missing out because you can get up to 15% discounts on at restaurants, 30% on car rentals. You can get vision discounts, prescription discounts, and that's in addition to Good RX. If you never use Good RX, it definitely works. Okay, so I've used that before. You can get $10 off on your AT&T bill. You can get 20% off hotels. You can get either 5 up to 20% off on using some items at UPS stores. I can go on and on.
Yeah,
15% off on FTD. I mean, if you're not an AARP member, you're missing out on a lot of discounts, a lot of
that's for
discounts. So
sure.
definitely you want to check that out. And you don't have to be 65. I believe AARP, you can sign up at 55. I
I
believe
think
it's
so.
55.
I think
Yeah.
so. There's another
Mhm.
one. It's still around, y'all. If you don't know it or not, and that's Groupon.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Groupon, you can find a lot of deals. That go for everything from travel to massages. All right. And it's just some of the just little ancillary stuff that we may buy here and there, gadgets or what have you. And the services are performed by your local business community. Not only are you helping them out, but you help yourself out getting that discount. All right. So I tell you, I want to encourage everyone within listening to take advantage of the discounts. They're there for a purpose. They're there for a reason, And these companies, they compete for your business, so make them compete. Make them compete and look for the ones that give you the perks. If they don't give you any perks, hey, and another company does, as long as that service is quality, give it some strong consideration.
yeah. Well, switching gears right quick. Everyone uses banks, and as you know, banks make a lot of their money off of their late fees and their service charges.
Mhm.
You need to be aware that if you ever charge a late fee for whatever reason, if you use your debit card and you didn't have money in that account, whatever, call them and challenge them.
Right.
Okay. I've
Yes.
done this many times, and they will remove the car that
That's right.
charge.
That's
That's
right.
also with credit cards. Say you send in your bill. Like me, you still use the old post office to send your bill, and they say they didn't get it. They want to charge you a late fee. Call them, challenge it. 9 times out of 10, they will remove these late charges every time. You should not be paying $35 and $45 for late charges and fees
That's right.
for any type of mishap with with these companies. So things happen. Call them, challenge them, have them remove those charges.
And you get further if you use sugar and honey as you will than you use,
Oh
try to
yeah, be
kill it. So
nice.
be nice, because they'll say something, okay, we'll do it this time. Well, heck, that's the only time I'm calling for is this time.
Exactly. 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 Exactly.
So that's all
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
want is what you want. All right. So, but yeah, I hope you're taking advantage of these things because George and I are. I mean, that's how we know about them. All right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we live what we talk about. So what else we got, Pop?
Well, I think that's about it right now, Smitty. Oh, don't forget about your modems. You know what I mean? Everybody's
Oh,
using
that's right.
internet. You got to get that into your house. So if you're not owning your own modem or router, you need to go to one of these electronic stores and buy you one because that's $7 to $9 a month. You can save. You don't need to be renting that from the cable company. So yeah, make sure you do that also.
And George, I'm glad you mentioned the price because we look at sometimes and say, oh, it's only $7 a month. Yeah, I'll let it go. But no, 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 no. Just multiply that by 10. We all know there's 12 months in a year. But just multiply that by 10. That's $7 a month is actually over $70 a year. Make it $84 a year if you want to be exact. But that's $70 a year. If you've been doing it for the past 10 years, that's $700. Do we need to go any further with that math? That's money that could be in your pocket, or more importantly, that's money, investment money. Because you hear
Hmm.
sometimes people, George, say they don't have enough money to invest. I can't buy a stock. Well, heck, that $7 a month bill could help you buy a stock on the savings that you have. So use your savings, use it wisely, but reinvest that money. Don't just go out and spend it. If we talked about a penny earned, a penny saved, a penny earned. Don't turn around and burn yourself by going out spending it on something that doesn't bring you any money back.
You know something, Smitty? Every time I'm getting ready, pass it over you to sign off, I think of one more. Okay, so as a real estate agent, okay,
Yes.
you've heard this term first time buyer programs. And if you say that, you say, oh, well, I already bought a house. But a first time buyer is defined as anyone that has not bought a primary residence in the last 3 years. So, yes. So
Say
if
that
you
again.
So say for example, you bought a house, you paid for the house, you want to move to another house, whatever your circumstances are. But if you haven't bought a house in the last 3 years as your primary resident, you want to buy a primary residence again, and you haven't done it in 3 years, you can qualify for a program that's designed for first time buyers. And it happens. It happens. So for example, if you've lived in your house for 20 years, you want to sell that house, you want to buy another house, you can qualify for first time buyers because you haven't bought a primary residence in 3 years, even though you're selling another house. Yeah.
Wow. There you go. You heard it first on the Crotchety Old Men podcast.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Hey man, I just love this fact that we're on YouTube now. They can see these faces and see the expression that we have, even how enlightened we are when we pass all this good old information over to them. So, with that, Smitty, I think we've kind of given them enough pearls for the day. So, what kind of words of wisdom you got for them?
Well, let's take a quote from Andrew Carnegie. He says, "You are what you think. As a man thinketh, so is he." We've heard that before, right?
We have.
Well, since we are what we think, so think big, believe big, act big, work big, give big, forgive big, laugh big, love big, and last of all, live big.
There you go.
All right?
Well said. Well said. And as we always say on the Crotchety Old Men podcast, if you didn't know,
Now
nah, you
you know.
know. Take
All
care.
right.
Be blessed.
Peace.
Peace.